Hey there, it's Beth Barnett with Gracious
Fitness.
Coaching, and I help people build habits so they can eat better, move better, live better for life. And I am here today to congratulate and thank my friend and client, Aimee Davis, on a completion of a 12-month journey to deeper health. So thank you so much, Aimee, for being here with me today, and congratulations.
Thanks, Beth. It's been just an honor and such a journey the last 12 months with you. I couldn't have imagined it being any other way.
So I'm going to start off with asking, when you started coaching, and this was a 12-month curriculum-based process through Precision Nutrition, and as a precision nutrition coach, was guiding you through this program, through this curriculum. So when you started this process, what were you hoping to get out of it?
I think I was looking just for change in general. Um, I'm going to be 50 years old here in about a month or so. And I have spent basically my entire life as an overweight or obese person in the world, and tried many things over the years, lots of different plans, and could never stick with them.
Yeah.
And so what I was looking for was something that was more holistic
Yeah.
in the sense that it was nutrition and movement and some mindset thinking types of, coaching to really change my behaviors, because we all know we can do things for a period of time, but often we slip back into habits that we have. We kind of have our go-tos. And I
Yes.
was looking to build a new toolkit of habits that would be easy for me to use as I needed and make my own, so that I could sustain this trajectory as I age and move forward. So
Yeah, so this wasn't like a quick fix kind of idea for you.
no, 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 no. And I think too, anyone who's struggled with weight, over the years, whether it's 10 or 15 pounds, or like me, 100, 150 pounds, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens a bite or a sip at a time, right? And sometimes we don't even notice that it's really happening to us until maybe the jeans are a little tight, or you have to get new clothes at the next season. And so I knew that obviously living this way at different weights my whole darn life, it wasn't going to happen in 90 days.
Right.
So I knew that going in.
Knew that going in. So you talked about um, you know, the weight loss was really a goal there. What were you struggling with? I mean, what was the struggle coming into the program? What were you feeling? Um what was really that point of saying I do need to do something different?
Yeah. I think, we're all kind of coming out of the pandemic, obviously, the last few years, if we're ever really out of it anymore. And I was thinking about all that I had kind of accomplished over the pandemic. And
Mm.
I also accomplished to gain another 30 pounds. And so I was coming up on my 49th birthday, and I was thinking about, the next decade of my life ahead. And if I had spent, really all of my adult life being overweight and obese, what was going to happen as I got older, right? Because I think we all think that as we get older, we may only get more out of shape. And that
Right.
was not a
That's
value
true.
proposition that I was willing to endure.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is that, you think about luck in life.
Hmm.
I am a big fan of Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah Winfrey said that luck or fate is really just preparation meeting opportunity. And
Yes.
so I was thinking, gosh, I want to prepare for this next season of my life, because I don't know what opportunities are going to come my way. right? And so if I look back at
Yes.
my life, I love my life. I have accomplished so much. I have a great family and job and friends like you. And I mean, just so many things that I feel blessed to have. And yet I did all that with some physical limits, health limits.
Yeah.
I was carrying around basically a whole person on my body on top of me, right? All those years. And so I thought, gosh, as I enter this next phase of life, what if I could remove those limits and truly be whatever this authentic Aimee person is supposed to be as I turn the chapter to 50?
Oh,
Maybe those opportunities that come my way, that preparation, working with
yeah.
you, focusing on me for a change, which
Yes.
was hard.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe I could be prepared for what comes my way in that next decade and not have to settle for I'm getting older and this is just what happens when you get older. I lived that way as a whole adult in my younger years. I didn't want that
Yeah.
for the next season. Yeah.
I love that sense of preparation for the next season. I hadn't even thought about it that was the way that you just said it. And but we do that all the time, and we sort of enjoy preparing for, we prepare for Christmas, we prepare for all of the other seasons. So how about do that with our health? What are we preparing for with our health and our physical, spiritual, mental well-being in that way, making preparations in that way rather than just kind of letting things happen. So that's beautiful. So I'm stealing that. Um, um, what were some of the most helpful aspects of the coaching process for you?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned at the top of our conversation that I just completed a year. And I actually, for those watching, I re-upped for a second year to continue the journey because I know I have some deepening of these lessons to really kind of ingrain in me. But for me, there are three things from the year that I really have taken away as kind of my go-to. And there are many that are the go-to habits and things that I think about now, but there are three that come to mind. One is the concept of just being 1% better today than I was yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to get all my macros perfect. I
that's
don't
right.
have to kill myself in the gym or on the treadmill and fall in a puddle of my own sweat to be successful today.
That's right.
And so if today I can walk 100 more steps that I won yesterday, that's a win, right? If I can have an extra fruit of veg or serving of fruits and vegetables today, whole foods that are going to serve my body, that's great, right? And then tomorrow, maybe I can be 1% better than today. And
Right.
so those really incremental changes, it's like I heard someone say the other day, it's like finances when we finally learned the concept of compound interest.
Compound interest. Yeah.
Oh, if I would have
Holy
put money
cow.
away in my 20s instead of keep it here, I would be doing much better today, right? And so I think about that 1% better every day really has helped me.
Okay.
So that's the first one. The second one is this concept about noticing what's going on with you and putting a name to it. Like I think they
Okay.
call it notice and name, right?
Yeah.
And so, when we think about that preparation, you were just talking about preparing for the seasons and me preparing for this next season. I choose to do my work in precision nutrition in the mornings
Yeah.
because it prepares me for the day. I get up
Yeah.
early, I do my strength training, I read the daily lesson, in the portal, and I
Yes.
feel like I am mentally prepared and physically, I just feel stronger. I feel my muscles, I feel my body activated, and I'm like, I am ready to take on whatever there is for the day. The old Aimee would have mentally prepared, oh, here we go, it's going to be a day. And I would muscle through it with my who I am and try
Yeah.
to be my best self in every moment. And I would pull it off probably 9 times out of 10. And I would be so exhausted at the end of the day that nothing left in the tank. I had given everything I had to others that I felt like to recharge, to replenish, I needed the bowl of ice cream after dinner, or
Mhm.
maybe a really nice glass of wine. like I deserved that or something. And so when I learned the notice and name lesson at some point in the year, I was able to say, huh, is that really what I need? Like, what is it that I need? What I need is to prepare my body for the day that I have ahead of me
Ah,
instead
yes.
of muscling through it and then somehow recharging at the end with things that are not going to serve me long term, right? It's short term gain for long term pain.
That's right.
So the 1% better every day, the notice and name. And then I think the other one is this concept of not overly being restrictive.
Yeah, right.
Um, not, I just need to think about today. I need
Yes.
to think about lunch. What is going to be the best choice for me for lunch today? What my day has for me,
Yes.
and what I need to fuel my body. It doesn't mean I can't have a cheeseburger and fries another day, but today I'm going to have a great Caesar salad with some kale and this
Yes.
yogurt dressing I make, and it's going to be fantastic and I'm going to love it. So I think once I got out of the whole forever and I
Mm,
just think about it as today,
right.
that is it. Like that's really helped a lot. So,
Because we have no control over the past. We can't change the past, and we can't really have power over the future. What we do have control over is this moment in front of us.
right.
So, yeah, and that's more manageable to me.
Yeah.
Like if I have to think about everything out in front of me, that's quite overwhelming.
Yes, I
So,
agree.
um, so what are some of the changes um that you've noticed
Yeah.
since we
You know,
first started?
Beth, yeah. So for those who haven't done the program or are thinking about doing the program, you start at the beginning thinking about what do you want from this and
Yeah,
how will you measure your journey, right? Because we all like to measure things and know how are we doing. And there are some that make total sense, right? Like your weight. I think especially for women, we get hooked on that. But some other ones for me were how my body felt, right? So I have
mm,
knee issues, I have joint issues. I was dealing with a lot of fatigue, which probably isn't surprising since I was 150 pounds overweight. Of course, I was fatigued. And, I've even being overweight, I've always been into fashion and wearing cute clothes and those types of things. And so another thing I was really focused on was how my clothes were fitting, and so the scale may not be moving as quickly as I like, but maybe the inches are moving and I could,
yeah,
feel better in my clothes, which really was a proxy for feeling better in my body.
sure.
Um, so all of those things really have changed, right? So I'm closing in on 120 pounds lost. I think I'm at 118 and a half as of today. It's amazing.
Amazing.
I've gone down, from a size 28 or 30 to a size 16 or 18. And I think my body feels so much better. I can do things I couldn't do a year ago. I went on vacation with my husband and hiked Acadia National Park in Maine. Would not have done that a year ago.
That was the best
Um,
message ever that I got. That
yeah, I
happened.
mean,
That was
I
awesome.
know. And, that's the thing about having a coach for people tuning in. It's like you can share those moments. Like you can
Yeah,
text your coach and say, oh my gosh, look what I did today. Right. And you
yes,
have that person that understands those struggles and really understands what it is you've been working for. So that little milestone for some may be, oh, really? They know you, they
I know, right?
understand that
Yes,
journey that you've been
that's
through.
right.
So those were some things. And then more recently, I went to my doctor for my annual physician, and she hadn't seen me for like a year. And I don't know why I hadn't thought about this, but like, you get your blood work done, all that stuff. Beth, my triglycerides dropped in half. I mean, my triglycerides, I think, were 175. They were talking about putting me on medicine. They were 82 this year. And I think I told you this, but I actually grew a half an inch from last year
Yes,
because
right.
my posture, I don't
Join this
have that
program. I can make
weight,
you
I don't have
taller.
that punch. And
Right.
so I was like,
Yeah.
really? what,
Yeah.
oh, well, what's on my driver's license is actually true now. Oh, good. Okay, that's good, So those are some things that I've noticed. And I think it's another reason why, these small changes, making these investments in myself every day are paying dividends now, right? To use that finance analogy. And so it's another reason why I re-upped for another year, because I really like the support. I need the support. It's nice to have someone in your corner, that gets you and can help you get unstuck. And because it's really easy to backslide, every day is a choice, every meal is a choice, so I just feel really good about what I've accomplished, and I want to continue, kind of get to the finish line and then get into maintenance mode, which will feel really good. So
I think what you said about, having that, that a guide, the guidance and accountability, maybe because, for most people, they probably know a little bit about what to do in terms of like, hey, eat some vegetables and protein and, exercise, everything that, you kind of know to do if you're on a weight loss journey or want to better your health. But just because doesn't mean that you actually do, or even if you want to change, sometimes putting forth the effort to change, but having sort of a process to kind of guide you through those things. Going through the program myself too, was so helpful in being able to actually get it done, because it's not the knowing, it's the doing.
Yeah, I think most women, or many women, I should say, not most, many might almost even consider themselves professional dieters, right? They've done keto, they've done Atkins, they've done Weight
Yeah.
Watchers, they've done whatever it is. And a lot of people ask me, what am I doing? And I'm like, well, it's kind of just what my doctor told me. Eat whole foods, eat a little less, and move more. And those are, it is that simple. There's no restrictive diet. There's no 2-hour workouts. I mean, those are all fine things if that's what works for other people, but this
Absolutely.
is something
Yes.
you can really imagine living your life, right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy that time with my family. I'm
You
going to
can
enjoy
really
some
enjoy
of
it. Yeah.
our family traditions, and I know that my habits will be there to serve me. And that I even have a supportive family that we've already planned our workouts while my brother's here, and we're going to train together in the morning and go on walks after dinner, and we're going to have
Awesome.
ice cream, and we're going to have
Right.
a great time. I mean, seriously, because I think, I
Yes.
probably would have panicked, or I just would have said, oh,
Yeah.
scrap it. I'll just be crazy. It's Thanksgiving, and then, and then how do you
Yeah.
feel after? You don't
Yeah.
feel good, right? And
No,
then you feel like, well, I might as well give up. And there's just really, I mean, every day's choice.
that's
And
right.
so I think that's the biggest thing out of this, is just one day at a time.
So Aimee, overall, what did you get out of coaching?
Beth, I think the biggest thing that I got out of coaching was seeing it as an investment in myself. We all hear that overhead, speaker when you're on the plane, and they say, if we lose cabin pressure, please first put the mask on yourself and then help others. And I think many of us as women, I know I'll just speak for myself, I'm always giving and helping others. And I wasn't really prioritizing me. I felt like that was selfish, or that, I could deal with myself later. And so coaching was really an investment in myself, to prioritize myself, my well being, so that I can be of my best service to others. And once I kind of unlocked that, it was just the best thing ever. It's another reason I re upped for another year. Not quite ready to give up that investment, because it's paying dividends. You may be stuck
Right.
for me with me forever. So.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I would love nothing more, but I was reading something the other day about selfish. We use that word a lot, but really, it's about the ego that we don't want. We don't want to be egotistical, but we do need to love ourselves. Self-love is not a bad thing, because we are a gift just like everyone else is. So if we're loving others, then we're just as important. So, but
A
what we
very
don't
wise
want,
woman, yeah, a very wise woman named Evelyn Shellhammer said to me years ago, she said, there's a difference between being self-centered and
yes.
a centered self.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
And coaching and precision nutrition has reminded me to be a centered self, that I was out of balance. There
Yeah,
were parts of me that were very centered.
sure.
And this helped expand that to where I was thinking about my physical life, my emotional life, and my spiritual or mental life. Like it really put that in balance because I had ignored the physical for a long time. So that centered self is really the gift of what I've gotten through coaching.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, anything else to add?
I think that the other thing for me, Beth, that was surprising is how much I really enjoyed strength training.
Yeah.
I was an aerobics instructor
Oh,
in my
yeah.
20s. Woo, I love me
You're
some
fitness.
stuff
Let's
aerobics.
go.
I even, 10, 15 years ago started jogging. I like to call it running. It was not running, it was jogging, or shuffling some
Whatever.
days.
Yep.
Big a fan of, yeah, very big fan of aerobic activity. I love me some
Yes.
sweat to the oldies, Richard Simmons, you name it.
Absolutely. For sure.
And the strength training component of this has a real empowering feeling to it. And I think that you even call it functional movement. I
For
mean,
sure.
the
Yes.
moves that we learn and do are things that I'm picking up something in the kitchen. I'm doing a bowler squat. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but that's what I'm doing. It really helps the day that you're going through the airport and your luggage extender breaks and now you're
That
carrying
story.
that 30-pound suitcase, of
Yes.
course, from the farthest gate that you get off at all the
Of,
way to the garage.
of course. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that a farmer's carry, that exercise that I do holding a 30-pound weight and walking around my basement right behind me in circles,
Yes.
was going to be in service to me when my, luggage failed. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I felt that oblique engage. I could walk and carry that. I had
Do
strength
it.
in my arm. I'm not doing it to be like muscle fitness, girl.
Right.
But boy, the functional strength I've gained is just another whole blessing that I really didn't think I was going to get out of this. So big fan now. And I can't imagine not having kind of a strength training foundation moving forward. And that was pretty cool surprise. I thought I knew what I was going to be getting into, and that was a wonderful gift. So
Beautiful. Well, Aimee, thank you so much for sharing your story. And it's been an honor to really walk beside you, walk through this journey, and keep walking beside you,
yeah.
and supporting you. And so I'm just very thankful for your trust in me as a coach, and also for just all of the effort that you've put into yourself and the investment that you've made in yourself and your family. This is going to pay dividends. You're going to be able to pay it forward. Really, all the things that you're doing are really going to, you're preparing for that future.
Yeah.
You're preparing for your family's future. So beautiful. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm being a better role model for my daughter,
Yeah.
having made this investment and continuing to walk this walk. So thank you, Beth. It's
Thank
been
you.
it's been the best. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me too. All right. I'll let you go for now. Thank you,
Thank
Aimee.
you.
Bye.
Bye.